Hi Miami Beach, this is Brian Toll, creator of Tempest, and you are watching MBTV.
We were able to work again with the developer when
The city is making great strides on creating a public baywalk. We have the details in this edition of CityVision.
The social networks, bullying is a 24/7 thing right now.
Our police department is moving forward with the first part of their anti-bullying efforts in Miami Beach.
And the city is done with the renovation of Collins Park, just in time for Art Basel Miami Beach. Hello and welcome to CityVision, your source for everything you need to know about Miami Beach. I'm Emily Oz.
And I'm Yvette Diaz. We're coming to you from the beautiful, newly renovated Collins Park.
It's in the heart of South Beach's Can-Do district, the city's cultural arts neighborhood. The park's new look, features, and art are all for you, the public, to enjoy. Right behind the Bass Museum of Art and next to the Miami City Ballet and Regional Library, this new space offers a spot for quiet reflection. Collins Park is now home to the popular new public art piece, Tempest. Much more on the renovation later in CityVision.
Now that construction is over, Collins Park is so much more welcoming and attractive to residents and visitors. But our city is dealing with an unwelcome guest across town.
The Gumbo Limbo spiraling whitefly is named for the spiral pattern in which the females lay their eggs. This type of whitefly enjoys a wide range of hosts from palms to flowering trees. They leave a white waxy substance on the underside of leaves. An infestation can cause wilting, yellowing, and leaf drop. Residents are encouraged to check their property for signs of the whitefly. It can be treated with common insecticides.
More information on the Gumbo Limbo whitefly and tips on treatment can be found on our website, miamibeachfl.gov.
There's another population our city is paying great attention to. Feral or free-roaming cats can be found in several areas of Miami Beach. Here's how the city is partnering up to take care of our feline neighbors. The average female stray cat will have about 6 litters of kittens in her lifetime. But if she's been spayed, with the help of some human intervention, she won't have to give birth in an abandoned building or scrounge for food in the alleys of Miami Beach to feed her litter of kittens. Miami Beach has launched a major campaign to control the large free-roaming cat population on the beach.
We're calling it Miami Beach 3000 because over a period of several years we hope to trap and sterilize and rabies vaccinate 3,000 or more cats.
The Miami Beach 3000 is a joint effort between the Cat Network, the city, and a no-kill animal rescue organization called the Clytie Foundation. The team comes together for events like Spay Day, where mobile vet vans set up at different locations throughout the city offer low-cost spay and neuter services for pet cats. And feral cats are trapped by volunteers, and the city funds the sterilization of these free-roaming felines.
We're just trying to control it through humane methods. We don't want the cats killed. We want them to just quit reproducing and live out their natural lives, and in that way the population will decrease over time.
On this Spay Day in Miami Beach, 80 cats were spayed and neutered. They're also treated and vaccinated for rabies and hookworm.
The response has been overwhelming. It has been wonderful.
The team is also partnering with locals who feed the free-roaming cats to provide medication to treat hookworm. More Spay Day events like this are planned in the future, and keep in mind volunteers are needed. If you can help out with your money or time, please contact the Cat Network. Their website is thecatnetwork.org. Spay Days are scheduled on a regular basis. Mark your calendars, the next one is Sunday, December 19th.
And now a different community effort to treat our pet populations with care and concern takes us to a new dog park south of 5th Street.
We explain the successful public-private partnership in our City Focus segment. It's a dog's life in South Beach now that our furry friends have a customized park to fit their doggy needs, including a fun water sprinkler so dogs can splash and play off-leash on a hot Miami Beach day.
I love the sprinkle idea. because not many parks have that. And I like how it's really big and clean.
The City Commission approved the funds for this dog park in 2009, but $60,000 was only going to go so far. That's when a few groups of dog-loving residents stepped in to help.
And this is one of those cases where, the folks pretty much put their money where their mouth is. They said, well, we want those amenities and we're willing to work with the city to make those amenities happen. Thank you.
The Sophie Canine organization and the Responsible Dog Owners Group teamed up with the city to raise funds through the sale of engraved commemorative bricks. The extra money, to the tune of over $14,000, bought the cool water spray feature and extra benches for the park.
It is wonderful what happens when the community gets together, and together we move forward into something. It shows what we can accomplish when people are together. We thank everybody that really worked on this.
As this group sort of evolved, we realized that we had a real need not only for this dog park, but also to get more involved in our community south of 5th.
For info on all 4 of our city's bark parks, visit miamibeachparks.com. And we've started work on dog park number 5 in North Beach. Stay tuned for all the details.
Improvements are constantly being made to make our 7.1 square mile city shine. Here's more on the renovation to this beautiful space, Collins Park, from Sherry Holbert-Lipner in our Plan Progress Report.
Planned progress includes retaining green spaces and open areas for all to enjoy. And this space was one of the first in the city to be designated as a public park. Collins Park has just undergone a retransformation, returning it to its original purpose and much more. The park, named after Miami Beach developer John Collins, was created in the 1920s as a public garden. According to the architect of the project, the new design is reminiscent of the original.
The city charged us with restoring and renovating the park back to elements of what it was before.
The multi-million-dollar project was shaped by resident feedback through community meetings.
The city residents were very adamant that what they wanted was a passive park. They didn't want ball fields, they didn't want soccer fields, they wanted a passive, formal park.
Collins Park is surrounded by some of our leading cultural anchors, including the Bass Museum of Art, which was also renovated by the city's Office of Capital Improvement Projects in 2004. Next door is the Miami City Ballet. And you have the new Regional Public Library, also built by the Office of CIP in partnership with the county.
We're delighted to see it open. I've done a magnificent job preserving all the beautiful old trees and putting in the new stuff.
Clusters of palm trees surround the open lawn. Ancient baobab trees tower over the park, while Malayan green palms line the promenade.
My goodness, you could see almost all the way to the beach itself.
The eastern portion of the park includes green space, and the city was able to maintain another scarce resource, nearly 300 parking spots.
So I think the city should be very proud of what they did over there to create a parking lot that is not only safe for the pedestrians, but also turtle safe.
Overall, the project has brought harmony between the park and its architectural elements. The 1930s Keystone facade at the Bass Museum, the restored rotunda with its 1960s sandcast panels, and the 21st century design of Tempest, the park's public art installation.
Yeah, it's really calm and nice, and so you could have your little time for serenity here, read a book. It's great.
With so much going on in the cultural campus of our city, the new Collins Park also offers the perfect spot for quiet reflection. For MBTV, I'm Sherry Holbert-Lipner.
You just heard from the architect of the park, and later in the show you'll hear from the artist who designed this, Tempest. Collins Park was done just in time to showcase breathtaking temporary works of art for our Art Basel Miami Beach.
Outdoor installations like this one in Collins Park leave art enthusiasts in amazement, while inside the Miami Beach Convention Center there's more shocking things in store. The highlights of this year's Art Basel Miami Beach cannot be summed up in one short story. Instead, imagine what happens when 2,000 works of art selected from leading galleries around the world, come together for the annual art extravaganza.
It's amazing. The quality is superb.
As the sister event of Switzerland's Art Basel, it's the most important art show in the United States, drawing thousands of people to Miami Beach each year.
America is also a place where, for some Europeans, still a lot of heart rests. It's a fascinating country, and so having art and this freedom of mind and this attitude to art is, for us, is magic. It gives us better energy.
This year, the location of Art Basel Miami Beach was even more appealing to art lovers because of an added bonus inside the convention center, a new gallery.
The Miami Beach Convention Center is home to so many major events, and now there's another perk for people visiting the complex, an art gallery. The city has partnered with its very own Basel Museum of Art to create an art gallery in the atrium of the convention center. The first exhibit is paintings from Overtown artist Purvis Young. The self-taught painter passed away in April, and several of his pieces were donated to the Basel Museum and are now part of its permanent collection.
Also, everybody involved in this really should be commended. It really is about sharing the collection and sharing, exposing Miami Beach to a lot of people, and what not better place than the Miami Beach Convention Center to do that and turn this into a mini museum.
If you missed the Art Basel action, you still have time to check out the giant pink snails, which will crawl out of town on January 3rd.
Ocean Drive is crawling with bright activity thanks to the cracking art group's giant snails.
Pink is my favorite color, so I just had to take a picture. Yeah, it's cute.
45 of them are set out at different locations around Miami Beach. Made from recycled material, they're designed to inspire conversation about the importance of recycling and to entertain.
The reaction is amazing. The snails arrived a few days ago by boat. It took us a month to arrive here, yes.
We caught up with the directors of the gallery that brought the snails over from Italy. They say they coordinated the snails' U.S. premiere just in time for Art Basel Miami Beach.
We think in Europe, in Rome especially, that this is the center of contemporary art. Yeah. Miami Beach has become the center of contemporary art with the Art Basel and with a lot of art event coming. And so we decided to come here and with the snail for the first time in the United States. So we choose Miami Beach for this.
If you were out looking at the giant pink snails, you may have come across one of our city's new or improved art in public places installations. 2, 3.
Local artist Wendy Wisher was commissioned by the city to spruce up these electrical boxes at 3rd and Washington. She did a fine job using hand-cut glass tiles and plenty of imagination to create liquid measures, the latest art in public places installation in Miami Beach.
My approach to public art is to create a piece that talks about the environment. So the elements around here are the wind, the water on the beach, and the sun. So I wanted to incorporate those, but also incorporate the people that live here. So this is blue mirror, so it reflects the people, their clothes, the buildings, the trees.
Nearby, the famous Mermaid outside the Fillmore Theater is getting a makeover. Roy Lichtenstein's Mermaid was the city's second art in public places installation over 30 years ago. The mermaid was given a new paint job as part of her restoration. And later in the show, you'll hear more about the intriguing public art piece titled Tempest that just went up in Collins Park.
A note about more free arts in our city. The city's Arts in the Parks program has kicked off its 5th season. It's a free Brazilian beach party on Saturday, January 22nd at 3 p.m. in North Shore Open Space Park. And it's Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet in Flamingo Park on February 12th and 13th. If you're marking your calendars for upcoming events, here's a few more of the big ones coming to Miami Beach this winter.
The maritime magic of the Miami International Boat Show comes to the beach February 17th through the 21st. Sail over to the website for more information, miamiboatshow.com. And your taste buds will get a thrill during the annual Food Network South Beach Wine and Food Festival. It's being held February 24th through the 27th. Some of the most popular events are hosted by celebrity chefs, and those are already sold out.
Take somebody like that to me.
After a short break, CityVision returns with a look at how our city is taking a stand against bullying.
And the plans are in motion for creating a seamless baywalk for everyone to enjoy. The latest up next.
Plus, the Latin vibes were loud and proud at the annual Hispanic Heritage Festival in Miami Beach.
These wonderful people.
One of Travel Channel's sexiest beaches in the world.
One of TripAdvisor's top 10 beaches in America.
This is Miami Beach.
South Beach rocks.
Attracting tourists from all over the world, visitors and residents enjoy our vibrant and sexy beach year-round.
We're from Sweden. We love South Beach.
Miami Beach.
24/7. There's so much to do, you'll need the extra hour.
Hola amigos, I'm Ingrid Hoffman from Food Network and Galavision. I am here and you are watching me on MBTV 77. Don't tune out.
Welcome back to CityVision. Joining me now to talk about free public art in our city is our Art and Public Places Coordinator, Dennis Leyva. Thanks for being with us, Dennis.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Now, we can all agree that Tempest is a great addition to the Collins Park neighborhood. What is your reaction now that it's finished?
My reaction is we have gotten a great public art project by an internationally recognized artist, and we are very fortunate to have Tempest in our city.
Definitely. And why is it so important for our city to create this free public art that everyone can enjoy?
Well, part of our vision statement for the city is that we are a cultural destination. I mean, you're really living by what you're writing. It's not just a blurb, it's not just a statement. This is what the statement means in real world.
And this is one of how many public art pieces we have now in our city?
We have 17 public art projects in the city.
Wow.
All of them can be enjoyed by the residents. They are all throughout our parks, our streets. Even the manhole covers are designed by an artist, and that's citywide.
And how and why was the artist Brian Toll chosen to do this piece?
The city has an Art and Public Places Committee appointed by the Mayor and City Commission, and we are given certain parameters. In this case, the parameters were a budget, that it had to be interactive, and it had to be by a well-recognized artist. There were 6 artists who submitted proposals. Of those 6, 2 were the finalists, and this project was on budget, was interactive, so it really met all the criteria that the administration gave the committee to follow.
And he's a good man, that Brian Toll. Speaking of him, we caught up with him at Art Basel Miami Beach to hear more about what inspired him.
Fantastic.
In a place like Miami Beach, which is so much about recreation and sun and the ocean and boating, and really wanted to make something that the people could recognize, respond to, and interact with. Well, the daytime, it's really about this shimmering, undulating surface and the sun reflecting off of the fiberglass and the gleaming white aluminum, and people wandering through, appearing as if they're bobbing in the surf. At nighttime, it takes on a very, very haunting sort of glow, and it seems to hover above the surface of the park. I called the piece Tempest because, obviously, being in South Florida, there's always this threat of an impending storm. And although this is a reality and a part of life, people still manage to stay here and defend this beautiful place.
Wow, he is so talented.
He's great to work with. He's a visionary in his historical perspective on public art.
Good. And where do we want to send people if they want to find more info on all of our public art pieces, Dennis?
Well, definitely our city's website has a section on art and public places where you can see all of the projects, and it'll give you additional pictures, bio on the artist, the materials, and also we have a GIS map that actually can show you where all of the art is if you want to do a walking tour, if you want to go out one day and spend a day with your family or visitors, showing them where all these projects are located in Miami Beach.
Well, this is perfect. Thank you for all the great information, Dennis. We really appreciate you being with us today.
No, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. There's much more ahead on CityVision. Stay tuned.
Put it there, buddy!
After a quick break, we return with a story of how local teens are bringing the circus to life in a creative and entertaining way.
There's an explosion of excitement celebrating the abilities of people living with disabilities. We explain next.
I used to think suicidal thoughts.
And it's a tough subject to talk about, but that's the point of this candlelight vigil, to raise awareness about teen suicide. The story straight ahead.
It's a pesky situation. A new kind of whitefly is causing harm to trees, palms, and landscape plants in South Florida. Named for the pattern in which females lay their eggs, the gumbo limbo spiraling whitefly causes a white waxy substance on the underside of the leaves. They can damage and even kill their host tree or plant. Homeowners are encouraged to inspect their yard for signs of this pest. Find tips for treating the gumbo limbo spiraling whitefly on our website, miamibeachfl.gov.
Hi, this is E.T., and you're watching MBTV 77.
Welcome back to CityVision. In this day and age, new concerns about childhood bullying are being raised, partly due to new technology.
Here's how the city is beginning to take steps to prevent tragedy from happening in our community.
Suicide is a heartbreaking topic, and when it comes to teen suicide, the numbers are shocking. Suicide is the third leading cause of death for people ages 12 to 24 in the United States.
We can't go back, and we can't bring back the lives of those that have...
It's why events like this candlelight vigil are so important, to raise awareness about what's driving our young people to take such drastic measures.
For me, this event actually hit close to home because I used to be a kid that I used to think suicidal thoughts, and I felt like I was alone and unloved.
Alexander Febres helped organize this vigil for GLBT teen suicide awareness. High-profile cases of teen suicide linked to bullying have made national headlines recently.
Bullied and harassed until she had had enough. 15-year-old Phoebe Prince hanged herself in her family's home in January.
These headlines are one of the reasons why the Miami Beach Police Department is joining the movement against bullying. Police have started by training employees of our city's Parks and Recreation Department.
We think it's going to be important for them to be able to identify when a bullying situation comes across, and we want them to be able to be trained to be able to talk to parents when parents come up and talk to them as well.
Because bullies have new weapons, the boundaries have been blurred.
Unlike in my generation when there was bullying going on when I was a kid, that it stopped when you went home, no matter what your home life was, it's not like that anymore because of text messaging, the social networks. Bullying is a 24/7 thing right now.
We've all grown up, we've all seen incidents, we all see how disgusting it can get, and certainly we've seen some horrific examples of just how bad a situation of bullying can be. It can drive a person to suicide, and that's something we hope to prevent.
I would like them to learn acceptance and tolerance for LGBTQ youth, and not only for them, but for everyone.
There is help for kids and parents at this website, stopbullyingnow.hrsa.gov/kids.
If you have found yourself struggling with thoughts of suicide, there is help. Contact the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention at afsp.org.
The needs of special populations is always a concern. It's why our city supports events like the second annual Ability Explosion.
Welcome to Ability Explosion 2010.
The Ability Explosion was a week-long series of events that celebrate the abilities of people living with disabilities. The events were open to the whole community and included a comedy festival, 5K run, a music symposium, and much more. The Miami Beach Disability Access Committee helped plan the event.
I want to make it very clear to everybody right now that this event is not about disabilities. Let me repeat that. It is not about disabilities. This is about abilities of people, of all of us, of every single one of us. in this room, in this world.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
People of all abilities are able to enjoy miles and miles of our city's beach path because it is ADA accessible.
Our beach path is ultra popular, but did you know there are plans to create a seamless walkway along the bay side of our city as well?
The Atlantic Greenway Network is welcoming new additions to its system of interconnected bike paths that make it easy for you to get around without your car. Our city has made great strides with the recent completion of several more miles of beach walk.
It's really nice to come out and walk down and walk back up there and hit the playgrounds. It's not a bad way to spend the day.
And the city's vision for the Bayside continues to take shape as well.
A master plan was created where we identified the Baywalk as a possible sort of give back to the community that private development could do.
The city's master plan calls for one continuous public baywalk from 5th Street all the way up to Lincoln Road.
Because of the way their pool decks are and they have marinas, we're going to try to see if we can do an over-the-water solution in this area over here.
Right now, there's baywalk for the public to enjoy behind the Bentley Bay, the Floridian, and the Waverly. And in about a year, the city expects that you'll be able to maneuver behind the Flamingo South Beach as well.
We're working on finalizing the public access portion for the Flamingo property, which is a very large property. Actually, it's combined, all of the other baywalks combined don't equal the amount of property that we'll have when the Flamingo opens up.
The Atlantic Greenway Network provides direct bike-friendly and pedestrian access to important destinations like schools, parks, and business districts. And with each new connection, Miami Beach is on course to becoming the walking, jogging, and wheeling capital that city leaders have planned for.
Just from being here a few days, it's really congested with the cars. I would imagine if there's a better way to get around, if all this gets connected, it'll just be nicer to get around on foot and makes it more appealing.
Our community is connected in so many ways.
To each other, our history, and our cultures. It's why our city hosts events like this one for Hispanic Heritage Month.
The Miami Beach Parks and Recreation Department had kids and adults feeling the Latin vibes during the 5th annual Hispanic Heritage Festival. Along with music and dance, families enjoyed carnival rides and much more. The annual event celebrates the contributions of past and present Hispanic community members.
Muchísimas gracias.
5 are even honored with awards from the Miami Beach Hispanic Affairs Committee.
And this is just a great city to live in. I encourage every Hispanic citizen here to be active in this community. It is very important. If we're more than half of the population here, we should have more than half of Hispanics contributing to the betterment of our community.
Congrats to all the Hispanic Heritage Month Award winners. And here's a friendly reminder from our Parks and Recreation Department. Registration has started for the Winter and Spring Athletic Leagues for adults and kids. Visit miamibeachparks.com for the information.
Sports and athletics are just one of the many options for our city's youth. Our Parks and Recreation Department offers some amazing creative outlets for them too.
You pay to take a glimpse at my freaks!
The Miami Beach Teen Club's drama program brought the circus to life during the Freak Show.
But my poses, they were always better than you.
The Freak Show is an outrageous Halloween play that hits home messages about issues facing our teens.
He's overrated!
I'm just saying. It's related.
What? Prince, I'm surprised at you. I find that racist.
The skits, dance routines, and music were carried out by members of the Miami Beach Teen Club. The Freak Show is an original production written by Parks and Recreation Supervisor Willie Priegas.
All right, thank you. Thank you, guys.
And that wraps up this edition of CityVision.
While we go check out the new interactive art piece here in Collins Park, we leave you with more fun from this year's Art Basel Miami Beach.
Come check out the new and improved Collins Park.
Gotta do it.
Bye-bye, everybody.
33.